It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer. What's happening, everybody? It is Geno Jones Showtime. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles, 1:30 p.m. out in Hawaii. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones YouTube channel. Subscribe, share this and every episode, like this and every episode. Let's make this all the episodes go viral. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. 5 weeks from today, 35 days until Election Day. I can't say it enough. I'm gonna beat this drum like Sheila E. playing for Prince. I need you to register to vote. I need you to get everybody you know to register to vote. Take everybody, or as Nelly would say, everybody. Take everybody with you. Get a party bus full of folks. Y'all pop some champagne and get your card game going. Have your TV, play your old school music. I don't care whatever you got going on. Get the party bus and take it to the polls. Get the party bus and take folks to register to vote. And if you are already registered, check your voter registration status. Because it's real out here. As they say, it's real. It's real out here in these streets. And in these voting streets, the people, the forces that don't want you to vote, the forces that want to maintain and expand white nationalism and what they call white supremacy, and there's nothing supreme about hate, ignorance, and bigotry, and anti-blackness, and anti-Semitism, and anti-Muslim hate, anti-immigrant, which is translation really like Hispanic, Latino, immigrants from Latin America, South America. Oh, and that includes black folks too, okay? From black folks from the Caribbean, Haiti, and Jamaica, and the Bahamas, and from Africa too. Now, unless they got a lot of money. If you got a lot of money, then come on down, okay? And, I can't forget about the misogyny, the sexism, the group of old white men that want to tell women what they can and can't do with their bodies, that want to tell a 10-year-old that's been raped by an uncle or a stepfather, a life is a life. It's too bad, but just have the baby. Now, a 10-year-old baby is already traumatized. She's been raped, in some cases, by a relative, a stepfather, an uncle, a dad, and you want to traumatize a 10-year-old girl by forcing her to have a baby having a baby. Oh, but it's okay, put it up for adoption. Somebody will take care of it. But now, some of these same men who've got the little side pieces, the jump off, side chicks, whatever you want to call them, mistresses, we are finding out that some of these same men who are so anti-abortion, I don't agree, I don't believe in abortion in any instance, rape, incest, life of the mother, too bad, we got to protect that unborn life until your side piece gets pregnant. And then we're finding out the same no abortion under any circumstances, but shh. Now my little jump off, my side piece, I'm sending her to Chicago. I put her on a plane, and I made the appointment, and she can go ahead and take care of that problem because my wife can't find out my side piece got pregnant. Oh my God, she's talking about having a baby. And I had to cut a check. I need you to go ahead, and terminate that, take care of that, get rid of that, and here's some more money to go shopping, go on North Michigan Avenue and buy you some clothes. Maybe a Louis Vuitton, a real bag, or whatever. See, they don't tell you about that. These same men that are sitting up and passing laws telling women what they can and can't do with their bodies, they're telling women who they're seeing on the side, these married men that got mistresses and side pieces and jump-offs to get pregnant. Oh, well, you can have that baby now. Forget that. I just say that in front of the cameras. In this case, I believe in abortion. So you get your ass on that plane, and you're going to have to get rid of that because, no, you can't have a baby. What's my wife going to say? See, hypocrisy, bullshit. I'm calling it out. I call it out here on the Geno Jones Show. I tell it like a T.I. is. Same people that want to take away your voting rights, your civil rights, our rights, rights for our kids to be taught the truth. And not just our kids, all kids. So I don't want to hear this about, well, I don't want white kids to feel bad about learning about how bad slavery was, because slavery really wasn't that bad. And, you know, the plantation owners, the masters, they were really nice to their slaves. And, you know, some of them got to live in a house and, you know, they ate 3 times a day. And miss me with the nonsense. Miss me with the BS. We don't want white kids. Well, if you don't want white kids to feel bad about finding out how horrible slavery was, finding out about their ancestors, how do you think little black kids feel? And it's a good thing if a little white child, a young white child, hears about the horrors of slavery, Jim Crow, lynching, rape, racism in all of its forms. If they feel bad about it, that's a good thing. Just like when I learned about the Holocaust. I felt horrible about that. How could one group of people treat another group of people so horribly because of what? Their race? This racist whiteness is made up. It's a con job. Scientists will call it, social scientists call it a construct. Really, it's a con job. This whole concept of whiteness. There's nothing scientific about whiteness in our DNA or blackness, actually. If you get the DNA test, it won't say, oh, you're 92% white. No, it won't. Say you have Irish, Italian, German, Scottish, background. Your DNA is from that region. Or maybe 90% of your DNA is from Cameroon or Nigeria or Ghana or Benin or South Africa. It will speak to the region of the country, of the region of the planet that you come from. But it won't. There's no whiteness in the DNA. It was made up. And even all white people weren't considered white in America. Whiteness is like a club. Originally it was just wealthy white men, really wealthy white old men who own land and own slaves. Primarily, the English, the Great Britain. Because when the Italians first got to America, when the Irish first got to America, they weren't considered white. They were really don't tell nobody. They were like the N-words. And they had and still have like slurs for those people. That's what they would refer to the Italians, those people. And the Irish, when they first got here, those people. The same for the Jews. And they're still, the real racist anti-Semitic people don't consider Jews white. Same for Chinese, the Chinese Americans. You had a mass immigration of Chinese. Chinese were brought here in like the late 1800s to primarily build the railroads. The men could come here, but they couldn't have children. They couldn't get married. They were discriminated against, and they wanted to limit the amount of Chinese that came here to work. Same for Japanese Americans. Hell, they put them in what they call internment camps during World War II. Literally, put them in camp prisons. The only thing they didn't do was kill them like they did in Nazi Germany. So everybody wasn't considered white. Whiteness is a club. Eventually, Italians got white status here in America, and then the Irish eventually got white. Oh, come on. The Italians, okay, y'all good. Come on in the club. You're white now. Hold on. Wait a minute, Irish. Not yet. Y'all hold on. Okay, the Irish, y'all can be considered white. Chinese, if you look less Chinese and more white, we'll let you in the club. Same for Hispanics. If you look more white than Hispanic, you can come on into this whiteness club too. Even some black folks were passing for white. I saw a great movie about that. The Jasmine's Blues. Must-see movie. Check it out. Shout out to Tyler Perry. It was a fabulous movie. Really. The Jasmine's Blues. You gotta see it. It's amazing. So the point I'm trying to make is that the same people who want to continue this ideology of hate and taking, when they say make America great, that means make America white. Take it back to 1822 when black people didn't have any rights, none at all, when they were enslaved. And women, remember, the original Constitution, it said that Africans were 3/5 human. There's no mention. Don't take my word for it. Google the original Constitution. And I'll wait when you see the word woman or female in the original Constitution. I'll wait, but I'll give you an answer. You won't find it, because they didn't even mention women in the original draft of the Constitution. They say, yeah, okay, y'all, the Africans, y'all are not full humans, 3/5 human, but we ain't even going to address the women because they considered women, even white women, to be like property. And once again, here we are in 2022. White women, they are showing you, they still consider you property. Why do I say that? Because they repealed Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court said, wait a minute, hold on. We don't let these states do what they want to do. So if these states feel that a woman should never terminate a pregnancy, regardless of rape, incest, even if the mother's life is in danger, just pray for it. Hope the Lord don't let it bring her home. But if he does, there's stories about women who have miscarriages, who doctors are afraid to end the pregnancy, who are forced to almost bleed out, to hemorrhage and bleed for a week or 2 weeks before they finally decide to terminate a pregnancy, a miscarriage, a pregnancy that's gone horribly wrong. All that is on the ballot. Your civil rights, your voting rights. They want to ban books because they don't want their children to learn the truth, but I'm going to let you racists in on a secret. You can ban all the books that you want to, because all it takes is about a second and a half for them to Google, and they can find out any and everything about the true history of this country that you are trying to keep from them by banning books. So good luck with that. So all of that is on the ballot. But I got to shout out, let me bring some good news into this. I got to shout out Trina, rapper. Those who are fans of Trina, they know she is the self-proclaimed the baddest bitch. Not my words. Self-proclaimed. She calls herself that. And Saucy Santana. Just Google Saucy Santana. I don't know what pronoun Saucy uses. So I want to respect Saucy. But if you haven't seen, look the video. Google. The video is called No Vote, No Vucking with a V. No vote, no vucking. And I guess you can imagine what the vucking is. Yes. So it has a certain appeal. It's got an appeal for them folks out in them streets. If you're a hip-hop fan, if you're a hip-hop fan of Trina, the baddest bitch from the 305, and Saucy Santana is cute, but you know what? We need all hands on deck. We need everybody. Or as Nelly would say, everybody. We need everybody to vote. I don't care. I don't care how ratchet, how hood, how ghetto, how none of that matters. Because the folks that stormed the Capitol, they don't give a damn. Because they want to oppress all of us. From the most ratchet to the most sophisticated, arrogant, stuck-up, Ivy League grad. They look at all of us the same way. So make sure you vote. Make sure you get everybody you know to register to vote. Let me bring on my guest today. So let's talk. Oh, good. I got everybody. Hold on. There we go. Good deal. So let's talk the midterm elections in 5 weeks and 35 days. With my contributors, he is an advocate and co-founder of the Black Parents Association and the co-founder of Community Solutions Consulting, and she is the coordinator for Black Voters Matter. They look so beautiful. Y'all look so beautiful. Can the audience, I want them to see, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you April Richardson with Black Voters Matter and my man A.J. Davis. Welcome, family.
All right. Thank you, Geno. Thank you. And hey, April, we got to catch up. We got to cut.
Oh, absolutely. It's good to see you.
So
yeah,
April, I'm glad you just joined, because AJ's got that look like, damn, I should have joined when April jumped in. So AJ, thank you for indulging my monologue. I had a few things to get off my chest. Well, actually, AJ, April already heard the monologue on the phone. So what you heard, she basically heard about 2 hours ago. So I'm dropping the mic, and I'm going to play DJ Cassidy. I'm going to pass the mic. Ladies first, because my mother's watching, and if I didn't watch my manners, she will remind me. She's like, Jeannie, I didn't raise you that way. So ladies first. So April, 35 days away, 5 weeks from Election Day, and I know you've got some important information and just some things that you really want to stress to everybody out there. So you've got the floor.
Well, thank you both so much, and I'm gonna apologize in advance to the ambient noise in the background. So I'll try to project, but again, always great to be here. But yes, absolutely, we are 35 days out. This is our last week of voter registration. So if you are planning to register to vote, you need to make sure that it's handled, I would say ideally by Friday, but you have technically until the 9th to do so online. But if you are planning to do so with the traditional paper form, you need to make sure that that is done by Friday, that is at your local voter registration office by 5 p.m. or their closing time on Friday. And that's what we're stressing to everybody, just to be safe. But so first and foremost, please make sure that you're registered. The next big thing.
I'm sorry, let me jump in here, because we have a lot of people watching from all around the country and really all around the world. So South Carolina, the deadline to register to vote is Friday. Now, depending on what state you live in, check with your Board of Elections, because every state, they have different deadlines. So I just wanted to throw that in there and point that out, because I know my mom is up in Chicago watching right now. Got folks watching out in California, so I just wanted to throw that little caveat in there. I apologize. Continue.
Thank you. Sorry, they may be responsible for one state, my home state, so I'm definitely biased, not even a little, a lot. But yes, check with your election commission, or in a lot of states, your Secretary of State may be holding that information on their website. That is not the case for South Carolina. So you all, it's scvotes.gov for us, but definitely verify that either with your election commission in your state, your county board, or with your Secretary of State office, depending on what state you're in. But that is big for us. So definitely make sure that you're registered. For South Carolina specifically, you want to go to scvotes.gov. To make sure that you can also check your registration, make sure that it's up to date, make sure that your address matches on your voter registration with your license, and that's important, I think, anywhere you are, but also to be mindful that you can check out your sample ballot. So that's going to be phase 2, is making sure that you have a plan to vote during early voting, or if you plan to vote in person or even absentee, that you're looking at that ballot and making sure that you know who you're voting for, not just at our statewide elections, but also down ballot. We have a lot of school board races, which I'm sure AJ can tell us more about, but we've got a lot of school board races in several counties in South Carolina. We have a lot of city and county council seats that are going to be up. So definitely want to make sure that we are aware of those, because those are critical races. For South Carolina, yes, the governor is up for election. We have a Senate seat up, Secretary of State, a lot of those major positions, but your city council, your county council, your school board, those are the roles that you're going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You don't go to the governor if there's, an issue with the cost of utilities in your community. Their Secretary of State is not handling zoning issues in your community. That's local. And so that's where a lot of that work needs to be done. So that's really, from the Black Voters Matter perspective, what I'm focusing on this week is, one, for those in South Carolina, making sure that you get registered before this deadline passes, and also that you're beginning to look at your sample ballot and start making a plan for whether or not you are going to be voting during early voting, which for South Carolina is October 24th through November 5th. There's 2 Saturdays in there, the 29th of October and the 5th of November. So you've got opportunities to do that. And then there's Election Day on November 8th. And you can also go to scvotes.gov, not only to see your sample ballot, but also to verify where early voting locations are, because those will differ from your precincts. So it's important to make sure you know where you need to be and when you plan to be there ahead of time. So that's my spiel.
So once again, early voting in South Carolina, the dates begins October 24th.
Yes.
Through November 5th.
Yes, sir.
All right. And scvotes.org?
scvotes.gov, G-O-V.
Thank you, scvotes.plural.gov, and then go to Black Voters Matter and get some information. Before I throw it to AJ, April is, if there's some people watching that want to be a part of trying to mobilize and get the vote out and make sure that people can go to get registered, or maybe just to early vote, or early, is it called absentee vote here in South Carolina, or early vote now?
So those are two different things. So this is our first year having early voting. So previously, absentee was the only option you had other than election day. So now we have early voting, which is in person. So it's early vote in person. Those dates are dates that you can go to a designated location in your county to vote in person ahead of November 8th. Absentee for us now, and this information is also at scvotes.gov, but absentee specifically relates to receiving a ballot in the mail from the county and then mailing it back, because you won't be able to come physically in person at all during early voting or on the day of the election. So again, if you go to scvotes.gov, they have an absentee tab that will give you all of the specifics as to how you qualify. But for people that traditionally would just absentee vote, because of work or whatever, keep in mind now that you have to, the stipulation has to be that you cannot, there's no reasonable accommodation or way for you to get to a voting location the entire time of early vote in person and the day of the election. So absentee is a little stricter now because of that. But anybody over 65 by default can absentee vote. It's the pleasure of getting older. I hope to be an elder one day myself. So there is, so there are stipulations and examples, or exemptions, I should say, that allow you to absentee vote, but you're going to need to make sure that you qualify for one of those new reasons now that we have early voting.
So, we always focus on national elections. I want to shout out South Carolina State Representative Crystal Matthews, who's running up against Tim Scott, which is a whole nother story too. So, this is the Geno Jones Show. We wholeheartedly endorse Representative Matthews. She's been a guest multiple times. She will be back on. But a lot of people don't realize that the most important elections, the ones that really affect your life in an up-close, personal, and intimate way every day, like April said, are your local elections, starting with the school board. And speaking of school board, there's nobody more qualified to talk about the school board than our good friend A.J. Davis. We touched on it, A.J., so I'm going to throw you the mic, because I know you got a lot that you want to share with the public about the school board elections and just that whole school board situation.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out again to April. We need to make sure we amplify and elevate those heroes that we oftentimes do not see. For folks who are watching, April is the one resource that I can attest to that really attempts to mobilize Black voters and Black communities. And we need to understand how valuable she is, especially here to those of us in South Carolina. So I want to make sure she knows and hears that. So yes, we've got school board elections here in Charleston County, but throughout the state. So again, as April said, check your ballots to see if you have school board races on your ballot. Here in Charleston County, and just in general, if there's ever been a time for Black voters to understand the importance of public school board elections, it is now. I attended a conference last week in Maryland in which the topic of public education under the attack of white Christo-fascists was brought up, and I can tell you that those same individuals who were anti-mask, anti-vax, who were insurrectionists, Trump supporters, are the same individuals who have put themselves on school board ballots.
Yes.
Sure, some of them are trying to present themselves in a cleaner version of themselves, but make no mistake, these are the same individuals. Here in Charleston County, there is a group, Moms for Liberty. They are a nationwide group. Think Daughters of the Confederacy 2.0.
Yes.
They are that. And I don't care that in their membership ranks, they can boast certain minorities. They are still, overall, a group that espouses hatred. They espouse racism. They espouse homophobia. They espouse transphobia. They are anti-Semitic. Everything that is negative, that should not be a part of our public education system, this group is a part of. And I don't care that the media has given them a platform and lofted them up as if they are a legitimate parent organization. They do not represent true parents involved in public education. In fact, when you research this group, you will find that many of them don't even have kids and have never had kids in the public school system. But here in Charleston County, they are running a slate of 9 candidates. They are running a slate of 9 candidates, and that information is out on Facebook. I believe I have shared that on my Facebook page, and I will share it again for folks who are interested. But they have 9 candidates that are running for school board. In addition to that, another group that is a red flag, especially to black voters, is the Charleston Coalition for Kids. While they don't espouse some of the same values as Moms for Liberty, they are just as dangerous. They are more so about privatization and the takeover of majority black schools in black communities. And as such, both of these groups represent a threat to black communities and black voters. And any candidates that are aligned with these groups should be blocked from getting on our school board here in Charleston County and anywhere else in the state. But I want to emphasize why this is so important and critical at this particular juncture. We have probably never been at a point where our public schools have been under more scrutiny in recent memory than they are now. In upstate South Carolina, they are literally banning books. Stamped by Ibram Kennedy just got banned in Pickens County. They banned that book. Also, in Greenville and Spartanburg, I got word that librarians are being threatened and intimidated by law enforcement coming in. Yes, that's how serious this is, Geno, that they are coming in saying they're searching to see what books are on the shelves. Make no mistake, the same way the January 6th insurrection included members of law enforcement, the military, these same groups that I mentioned also have supporters in those industries. So when parents show up and the public shows up to the polls this November, understand we are talking about whether or not our students, our young people, will be given an education that prepares them for the future or takes them back to the past.
So, AJ, let me just jump in real quick. So, is that legal for a police officer to come into a school in South Carolina and just arbitrarily decide that book should be banned? Is that legal?
So, there are already legal organizations that are on the ground determining what's happening and investigating. But remember, South Carolina has Republicans from the top of the executive branch on down.
Right.
The top cop in this state is Alan Wilson, and he is aligned with groups like Moms for Liberty. So I don't think for any stretch of the imagination that he's going to, unless he's forced to, protect those that have become the targets of this type of deceitful rhetoric. It should also be noted that U.S. Congressional Representative for Congressional District 1, Nancy Mace, has also waded into the cesspool of putting out misinformation and disinformation regarding the medical industry, specifically MUSC here in Charleston, and trying to allude that they are groomers and pedophiles and lobbying that type of just disgusting rhetoric towards her opponent, Dr. Annie Andrews. That's also on the ballot because that impacts kids. Remember, MUSC has our children's hospital, and there are already reports around the nation of children's hospitals also coming under attack because of this rhetoric. So folks who are watching, it's not just voting. It's not just performing your civic duty. This is one step in many that we must take in order to make sure not that we're protecting democracy, we're protecting ourselves and those who are most vulnerable. If we don't have the decision makers in position who can begin to push back against this very radical, toxic rhetoric, then the future will look just like what we saw on January 6th, 2021.
So AJ, do you have something on one of your social media pages? What I want you to do in a week or two when you come back, I want you to create a sample ballot, and we're going to basically talk about it. I want you to give the names of the candidates that you recommend, and give the names. You gave the name of the organization. What was it? Moms for Liberty? What is that again?
Moms for Liberty.
And what's the other one?
Charleston Coalition for Kids.
All right, so if you see that, that's a problem. That's a red flag. That's a MAGA. That's part of the old MAGA cult. Stay away from that. So if you don't mind, could you come back in a week or two and create your own sample ballot candidates that you would recommend to vote for when definitely before the 24th, because that's when the early voting starts. So
yes, I absolutely will do that, and I will direct people to my page where I'll be putting updated information as well as links to other resources that folks can go to learn more.
And April, real quick, they got about 90 seconds. If people want to support Black Voters Matter, if they want to help you mobilize, volunteer, like I said, all y'all's got these party buses, these churches, you got these buses, put them to good work. We could be taking people in the community, elderly people, people who have a hard time getting around, disabled, put them in these buses, take them to go register to vote, take a whole party bus full of folks, put some champagne, some playing cards, play some beer whisk, have some music, old school music, drink your champagne, go register to vote, go vote, and then take them back, and then go pick up another bus load of people. So anybody that wants to be a part of the mobilization in terms of getting out the vote, April, give them all your social media information.
So we are Black Voters Matter on all social media platforms. And our website is blackvotersmatterfund.org. So you can always, as you can see in my background, text "We Matter" to 25225 to get more information. But if you go to our website, there is a Take Action tab. And so you'll find information about signing up to volunteer, reaching out to me here in the state. But definitely, if there are groups that are interested or doing that work and just want to have it amplified or are looking to get some resources, like, you need some palm cards, some door hangers, you plan to do some canvassing and need some data, we would definitely love to assist anybody with that. So again, our goal is to make sure that our communities are empowered, and we know that voting, to AJ's point, is one of the ways that we do that. It is kind of how we even out or level the playing field a little bit so we can continue the work that we know has to be done. But this is definitely a huge part of that, but just one of those steps.
AJ, I'm going to give you the last word. We got about 60 seconds.
Sure, thank you. Basically, not only vote, but pay attention. Be involved. It's not just showing up on election day to press a button next to a name. It's now asking questions. Do you know who your city council person is? Do you know who your school board rep is? Do you know who your county council person is? Do you know who your secretary of state, your state representative? Again, it's about more than just casting your vote, but it's also being involved and knowing how to hold those who are elected, regardless of whether you voted for them or not, knowing how to hold them accountable. And I implore the viewers of this show to recognize that we all have a responsibility to make sure we take this seriously.
Drop the mic on that one. April Richardson, State Coordinator for Black Voters Matter here in South Carolina, and the man with the blowtorch, with the flamethrowers, lighting up that ass, AJ Davis, the advocate, co-founder of the Black Parents Association and co-founder of the Community Solutions Consulting. He's a bad man, I keep telling y'all. And his sister, she's a bad sister. All right, thank you guys both. We'll see you soon. Thank you. As always, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I told you, listen, they are awesome. They just bring so much. They bring so much to the show, so much to the community and the culture. So check them out and go to AJ's social media pages. AJ Davis, Anjane Davis. You'll find them on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And April Richardson, Black Voters Matter. You'll find her. Happy birthday, Libras. Case, R&B singer Case, 47 today. Lil Mama is 33. Rapper Lil Mama. Derrick Rose, from the south side of Chicago, West Inglewood to Neil F. Simeon High School. That's actually my mother. She started off at Lynn Bloom and then transferred to Simeon. It was called Westcott, I think, back in the day. Anyway, Derrick Rose, NBA baller. He was one of the youngest. It might have been, was he the youngest MVP? He might have been. When he played for the Chicago Bulls, now up in New York City playing for the Knicks. Derrick Rose, 34. Man, Derrick Rose is 34. Man, y'all getting old. And speaking of getting old, Russell Simmons, hip-hop legend, business mogul. Russell Simmons is 65. Man, he can collect a pension today. All right, 65. Happy birthday, Russell Simmons. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles, 1:30 p.m. in Hawaii. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe. Share this episode and every episode. Share it. Like this in every episode. Share this. Let's make this episode go viral. Because this episode, every episode is fire, but this episode was fire. And very informative. So let's make it go viral. Help me out. Screen grab some of it, put it in your reels and your stories on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, and post it up on Facebook, the whole episode. Go to my YouTube channel and and paste the link. Paste it everywhere, or as like I said, my boy Nelly would say, paste it everywhere. He say, yeah, he would say everywhere, like everybody, everywhere. I digress. Let me say shout out to the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, Markel Bailey. He is on Instagram, Kel be cutting up, KELBECUTTINUP, because Kel be cutting up. And Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. We call her the Drip Director. She is on Instagram, L like Lexi, X like extra, dot, N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscores that little dash below, LX dot NCL underscore. The next live edition tomorrow, my special guest, it's the anniversary week, second year anniversary of the Geno Jones Show. Congratulations to me, and thank you, all of you all, for making the Geno Jones Show one of the fastest growing shows on YouTube that is done live. I do this show, I don't record it. The show is live. When you watch me at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I am live and in living color. And you can go back and binge watch the episode because you're able to watch it in case you miss it. But one of the fastest growing live shows on YouTube Monday through Friday. So thank you so much support, each and every one of you. Like Heavy D would say, rest in peace, Heavy D. Got nothing but love for you. Got nothing but love for you. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, my special guest, former lead singer of the Barcades. He's been a regular on the Geno Jones Show, Larry D. Larry Dotson, call him sincerely Larry D. That is his new album. And you know, you've seen both of his new singles, Just We and I'm Good. He's got a new song. We're going to talk about that. Just chop it up and have some fun. It's going to help me celebrate my Geno Jones Show second anniversary. And Thursday, brother Marcus Allen, one of the rising R&B stars in the business. His song and video, you've seen it, Slide, is one of the top R&B songs in the top 10 R&B charts all across America. So Marcus Allen, as a matter of fact, he's been in the studio. He just finished up a Christmas album. He's got a Christmas single. He's going to tell you all about this Christmas album and single, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to give you some behind-the-scenes stories about, you've seen the video Slide that I played, the video to his new hit song, cameo appearances from me, your boy. There was some funny behind-the-scenes action, and we'll share some of those stories with you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll see you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thanks for watching. And shout out to everybody in my chat room, the Big Picture Podcast, and as always, Mother, you know I love you more than life itself. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.